Hi, welcome back to my channel and thanks very much for tuning in. I'm going to be showing you how I created this design, and I'm also going to be giving you some hints and tips on how to use Adobe Illustrator. So I created this design using Illustrator, and as you can see in the background I use a template which I also designed in Illustrator. I mainly just used shapes and lines. It's very simple, and I actually used that in another design of mine. I used it in my Bring Me His Hearts design, and that is my first tip with using Illustrator, is to reuse your designs. But more specifically, in this piece you can actually see that there's a lot of symmetry with the design, so there's really no point in drawing the same thing twice. And rather than using copy and paste, there is a really quick and easy shortcut that you can use. If you highlight the section that you want to copy, then when you hold the mouse down, press the Alt key on your keyboard, and then you can move your mouse and you'll find that you've got a duplicated selection of the design, and you can move that anywhere you want. If you actually want to move it in a straight line, either up or down or side to side, hold down the Shift key as well. So you'll see me do that a lot in this design because it's really quite symmetrical, but it's also a mirror image, so what you'd want to do is flip the design over. So you would do that by, well, once you select your design and you copy it by holding the Alt key down, you would just right click on it, and then you can choose to reflect it either vertically or horizontally. But you can also cut that down further and create an action, and I'll go into actions a little bit later. So that's the first tip that I've got for you, and I've got two more tips for you using Adobe Illustrator, and I'll go into those in just a moment, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the design and what I created it for. It was actually a couple of years ago that I made this design, and it was originally for T-Villain, and they had a competition, well, not really a competition, it was called World War T. It was a sort of design challenge where there were a few artists involved, and we had to create a design using just one colour. So obviously I drew, you know, the TARDIS. What else was I going to draw? I almost got through the first round, but unfortunately I just got knocked off and I didn't actually make it to rounds 2, 3, and I think there were 4 rounds. But I still got this really cool design out of it, and T-Villain printed it. You can buy it on t-shirts and stuff. Obviously they only print it for one day. I mean, that's the whole process with T-Villain, is they print one design a day. But in my own shops you can actually buy this online as a t-shirt or a print or anything, and I'll stop selling it to you now. And I will tell you about this second tip that I've got for you. Now that is actions. So for this piece, all of these lines that have little dots on the end, I didn't like select those every single time. The first time I did it, I created an action. So every time I wanted to draw a line, just with one button on the keyboard, I could create a line with the dots on it and have it look perfect, exactly as I want it. So to do that, you need to open up the actions window. So at the top in the menu, go to Windows and then go down to Actions, and you'll open that up. The first thing you need to do is to figure out what part of the process you want to create an action for. So basically you're going to be recording what you're doing, and then when you want to repeat that, you just obviously press the shortcut button. For me, I would just draw a line and I would set the weight, the line weight, or the thickness, whatever you want to call it, and then I would just assign a dot to either one end or the other, or both ends. And I did actually end up creating 6 actions for this. So in your actions window, right down the bottom, you'll see a little folder icon. You want to click on that, and that will create a new folder, or it's called a set really. So you can give it a name, so you can call it whatever you want, whatever the action is that you're making. Next to the folder icon is a new document icon, and that is actually create new action. So you want to click on that and a little pop-up window will appear, and that's where you give your action a name. Under set, you want to choose your folder name. Then you want to choose which function key is going to create the action, and you can also change the color as well if you want. So once you've done that, just hit the record button. It's not going to record in real time. It's actually only going to record every click or change that you make within Illustrator. So you can take your time, but just be aware that anything you do will be recorded within that action until you press the stop button. So this is the time when you actually start creating your design, or that small little feature that you want to create an action for. And when you're finished, just click the square icon button, which will stop the recording. And you should notice that when you do each action, you will see it pop up in the actions window, and you can open that or expand the folder and you can see exactly what you've done. It'll give you a step-by-step breakdown of everything that's changed. The best thing to do is actually just have a few practice runs, because you can always delete the different actions that you create. And you can add more, so you don't have to do everything all at once. You can just start by maybe changing the width of the line, or you can start by making it a different color, and then just press the stop button. And when you're ready to do the next part, just press the round circle icon, which is the record button, and you can add an extra bit to your action. And when you've finished recording, if you want to then test out your action, all you need to do is say create a line or something on your design and select it, and then press the little play icon in the action, and you will see that it will recreate the action that you just recorded. You can also test this by pressing the function key that you assigned to that action, and that should do the exact same thing as pressing the play button. So that's how I actually saved a lot of time in creating this design. And as I was saying before, when you copy part of your design to make a mirror image of it, you could actually set up an action to flip the design into that, vertically or horizontally into that mirror image. So I hope you found the actions little tutorial easy. The third one that I've got for you is just when you're using the pen tool, which I use the pen tool almost exclusively for this piece. If you're not very good at it, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to do perfect lines straight away. Just do rough lines and then use the smoothing tool, and honestly, it is the simplest thing. I always do it. You'll see that most of the time with these lines I draw something really rough and really quite blocky, and then I just smooth it out, and yeah, simple shortcuts. So I hope that was really helpful. There's my 3 tips for using Adobe Illustrator. If you've got any questions, or if you want me to clarify something or to do a short tutorial video for it, just drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions about Adobe Illustrator, feel free to leave a comment below. It'd be great if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. You can also press the little bell button by the subscribe button, which will notify you when I create new videos. And yeah, I will see you on the internet in my next video. I'm not doing anything really. I have a star. Please give it a thumbs up and something else. There's a little bell. Okay, noisy bunny. Noisy pets. It's nearly 4 AM, so I'm gonna go to bed now. Subscribe. Will you shut up?